Kangbird Star, Sector Lord General, Secrets of the Territory. Hello guys, welcome back to our Anime Explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star original continent based on novel. So let's start. Looking at the Flame God race words, many thoughts appeared in Luo Feng's mind. The black armor before had the word soldier, this time it was general. As the imprint disappeared under his skin with his thought, it vanished. Let's feel its strength. Luo Feng thought. Rumble. Countless silver threads swiftly expanded from the core imprint, almost like it entered every muscle, and every bit of skin throughout his body. Also on the surface of his skin, a silver armor appeared, boots appearing below the soles of his feet. A silver mask and helmet appeared over his head. Luo Feng took a deep breath. He could feel pain in every muscle throughout his body, almost like it was being torn apart. This armor far exceeded the strength of the soldier armor. With a push, he could already feel the limit of his body being reached. It made it extremely painful. I can only trigger about 1,200 times Sector Lord strength. Luo Feng made his judgment. When one reached his level of strength, it was easy to make such accurate and precise measurements. When I use the soldier armor, I can easily trigger all of the armor's power. 1,000 times Sector Lord Pinnacle. Luo Feng pondered, and according to the Golden Horned Beast using the armor back then, normal human Sector Lord Pinnacle can use this soldier armor. And I'm 3 times stronger than a normal human Sector Lord Pinnacle. Yet, I can only use 200 times Sector Lord strength. He began to understand. The further back it got, the harsher the requirements on the body. Looks like my body is still too weak, the soldier armor fits me better. This general armor, it's too harsh on my body now. Luo Feng thought, his guess wasn't wrong, the soldier armor was the most basic armor. It was meant for Sector Lord Pinnacles to use, and this general armor was for Undyings. Naturally the requirements were much harsher. General Pearl. With a thought, he forced the general armor out into a pearl. This was a round silver ball, smaller than the soldier one by a little. On it the imprint general could be seen. I'll let the Golden Horned Beast try it. The beast's body structure is much stronger than my earth body. He thought. He sent the general pearl into his dark red world ring. The Mosha body and the main core was hidden in this. This dark red world ring was the one he specially ordered while in Primal Chaos City. For the sake of safety, he spent 180,000 points. Within his internal world, a vast grassland. Howl, the mountain-like Golden Horned Beast howled, its voice filled with excitement. It forced out a black soldier pearl, and it immediately fell on the grass beside. After which it raised its majestic head and looked at the little general pearl. It extended its right claw and touched it. Immediately, Kai, the silver pearl entered its body. In an instant, the Flame God race word general appeared on its chest and vanished after. General armor. Trigger. The beast's eyes gleamed with a gold light as it howled. Rumble. The imprint within its chest instantly triggered, and countless silver threads spread out and covered every part of its muscles, skin, scales. Immediately a powerful force spread throughout its body. The shocking amount of strength kept rising and rising. 1,000 times Sector Lord strength. 2,000 times. 3,000 times. 4,000. 5,000. The severe pain spread too, almost like it was tearing apart its muscles. Howl. The beast let out an enraged howl. Even with its body strength, it couldn't fully trigger the strength of the general armor. One had to know that a normal Golden Horned Beast had 30 times a Sector Lord's strength. Howl. It howled and immediately unleashed deities of the world. Immediately all its scales, muscles, internal organs and horns began to shrink, its density rising rapidly. As it shrank, the beast continued to trigger the general armor. Its muscles, bones, scales and horn density kept rising. It was indeed able to withstand the strength of the armor. 6,000. 7,000. 8,000. 9,000. 10,000. Rumble. The beast no longer felt the fatigue from the armor. It had been pushed to its limit, and at this time, the beast had shrunk to about 300 kilometers long. one had to know that a Sector Lord Pinnacle Golden Horned Beast was usually about 1,000 kilometers long. Deities of the world had reached amplification of 3.3 times. The beast was about 30 times a normal human Sector Lord before, a total of 100 times. Luo Feng nodded. This is about the lowest level of a normal undying. Looks like this general armor is for undyings after all. Shrink. Shrink more. The beast howled and its huge body shrank even more. Its muscles, bones, scale density all continued to rise. Finally it stopped and it reached the limit of deities of the world. Using 2.12 billion points, deities of the world's amplification had risen from 5 times back then to 7.5. Easy, trigger the armor, Kai, 10,000 times Sector Lord strength. This is about an official level pinnacle, almost an emperor level. The beast was now about a little over 100 kilometers long, still bigger than any mountain on Earth. Beside it a black-clothed Luo Feng appeared. He muttered, combined with sky-tearing claw. And the Shuwu Wings teacher gave me, he. Luo Feng nodded satisfied. Even though it was still far from his end goal, against a being like his teacher Tru Yang, he could still be instantly destroyed. However, at least the beast now had reached his short-term goal. Not bad. Luo Feng nodded satisfied. The Golden Horned Beast was considered his hidden trump card. After receiving guidance from his teacher the Primal Chaos City leader, Luo Feng didn't dare feel proud. His possession of the beast was but an above-average encounter. And he had only received 3 billion points. Kudai had over 100 billion back then. Hence it was better to be humble. At least the current him didn't have the ability to kill an official level undying with an undying body. After collecting one general armor, Luo Feng didn't want to end it yet. His earth body may not be able to use the armor yet, but what about the future? He didn't want to waste more time coming back here again to search for the fragments. Years passed. His earth body stayed and explored Wulong Starfield, constantly searching for silver armor fragments. The Golden Horned Beast and the Mosha clansmen continued their training. In T-blink of an eye, he had stayed there for close to 60 years, another 3 months, and it would be 6 decades. Ha ha. Finally, I've finally completed the second general armor. A silver armor appeared on the surface of his skin. He was all smiles. It gets harder and harder to find more silver fragments. The efficiency of the search dropped the more he searched. It took 21 years for him to complete the first armor, and another 39 to complete the second. I've completed 2 general armors, the soldier armor. I've collected a total of 58. Luo Feng laughed. That mysterious shard. I've got a total of 9 of them now. It's a pity I still don't know what it's for now. Even though I can feel its calling, I cannot absorb it. Dripping blood on it is useless too, and the spirit imprint cannot invade it. Luo Feng shook his head. 9 shards, he didn't know what they were, at least how to make them recognize him. With the 2 general armors, 58 soldier armors plus the 1st of February soldier armors he got during the first time he was here, he had a total of 60 soldier armors. 60 years, I finally got 2 general armors, my other trump card, the Bug Army now has a King Army. Luo Feng smiled. Within his internal world. Bug Island. Howl, the completely dark red tiger armored bug about 26 m tall was intrepid and thick, its compound eyes terrifying. In terms of height, it was about 4 m shorter than a normal tiger armored bug, its size smaller. However, whether it was the shell strength, its power or speed, world energy gathering etc., it far exceeded a normal tiger armored bug. King. Every tiger armored king had a high cost of production, using universe crystals. It required 2,500 mixed elements. Enough to make a poorer normal undying go bankrupt. Of course this was too extravagant. If I simply ordered them to be delivered, I'd only be able to produce 1 million kings. However, since I personally came to choose the goods and made the deal with the 5 managers, I got twice the number. Luo Feng was happy. 60 years. Alina had produced a total of 1.5 million tiger armored kings along with 200,000 hunting mantis kings, and 200,000 shadow spear kings. The remaining corpses were used to create normal tiger armored bugs. Her production days continued. Bug King Army. Luo Feng was very excited. The strong all enjoyed the feeling of leading an army. The Million King army was indeed very powerful. It was at least 10 times stronger than a normal million-strong army. One combined attack, if it hit, would even kill an emperor-level Undying. Of course the chances of it actually hitting was very very low, however with the Bug Queen commanding them, they naturally had other methods. I've completed the 2 missions I've come to Wulong Starfield for, the General Armor and the Bug King army. Now that everything is settled, it's time I left Wulong Starfield and headed to the Outer Region Wars. As Luo Feng left, he was naturally sent off with a luxurious banquet thrown by Long Ju, Qi Li, In Ji, Da Nian and Kang Yu Emperor. The shortest path from here to the Outer Region Wars is to first head to Kang Bird Star. Long Ju Emperor said, that is a logistics base and troop transport point. A large number of the soldiers and many lone wolves wanting to participate in the wars can all head there and be sent out. Luo Feng nodded. Since he was at Wulong Starfield, the natural path was to head to Kang Bird Star and be sent out from there. Thank you all for your hospitality, I'll be taking my leave. Luo Feng laughed and got up. Be extremely careful. Long Ju Emperor said. The Outer Region Wars are very dangerous, be on alert at all times. Yin Ji Emperor emphasized. Don't get careless. The 5 emperors all reminded him strongly. Ha ha. I will definitely return alive from the Outer Region Wars. Luo Feng laughed, after which he turned and left, taking his ship and heading towards the troop deportation point Kang Bird Star. Kang Bird Star, one of the 8 great logistics bases of humanity. It was also the transportation point for the Universe Army. Large amounts of the army would be sent to the Outer Region Wars from here. It was a very important location. We've arrived. That's Kang Bird Star. Luo Feng gazed at the huge planet from his blood-colored triangular ship. Kang Bird Star had a diameter of 1.028 million kilometers. It was a man-made planet, it was a fortress. Luo Feng, we've received a signal from Kang Bird Star. Barbata shouted from the control room, it's already been answered, just follow their instructions. Luo Feng nodded. The Yunmo planet ship swiftly entered Kang Bird Star. Within its landing points, an F-grade ship, completely covered in hybrid copper essence. This ship should at least be a few million mixed elements. A silver-armored man said shocked. At this time, Luo Feng flew out from the ship and kept it within his world ring. How are you? I'm a worker here. The armored man smiled. He was shocked within, looking at his forehead, it's a law-recognized sector lord. A sector lord could actually afford a ship like this, he must have a huge background. Luo Feng glanced at him, this man's head was like a jellyfish, somewhat translucent. I requested to enter the Outer Region Wars, where do I head to? Luo Feng asked. The universe armies are all gather here. The lone wolves all follow this pathway to another gathering spot. The man pointed to a distant transparent glass-made pathway. This pathway is over 3,000 kilometers long, the end of it is where the gathering spot is. Thanks. Luo Feng nodded. He followed the pathway, every step passing over a few tens of kilometers. After a while, he reached the end. It was a beautiful scenic plaza with over 10,000 people gathered there. As it was huge with a diameter over 100 kilometers, the 10,000 people barely filled it. How do you do, please head this way to rest. An enchanting lady worker with a furry tail walked over and said. When will we head out to the wars? Luo Feng asked. We have to hit a certain number of people, otherwise the cost of travel alone would be too high. The lady smiled. Sector Lord, your timing is already good. Many like you have already been waiting here for 12 days. The lone wolves gathering are after all not like the armies. The armies that come here are all extremely vast, the lone wolves take time to fill up to hit a number. Luo Feng nodded. He walked to the side. There were many alloy benches where many soldiers wanting to participate in the wars were scattered throughout. Luo Feng sat casually. Hey, how do you do? Another has come. 2 similar-looking sector lords with fur on their faces like wolf men walked over. Luo Feng looked up curiously at the two of them. These two were both Sector Lord Pinnacle, and from their forehead, they were both recognized by their laws. One had to know that even though there were over 10,000 people there, most of them were domain lords, and very few of them were sector lords and universe level. There were even less universe levels than domain lords, mainly because they were very weak. Few universe level lone wolves would come take part in the wars, just the far distance of flying alone would be a huge deterrence. Luo Feng nodded, I'm alone. One person coming to Kangbird Star alone, it must have been hard. We brothers took a ship over, it took a total of 12 years to get here. The bigger Wolfman Sector Lord smiled, after which, he and his brother sat on an opposite bench. With a flip of his hand, a bottle of wine and 3 glasses appeared. World Energy Control. He poured the wine and it floated before the 3 of them. Thanks. Luo Feng lifted his glass. I'm okay though. My travel time isn't as long as 12 years. Ah. The Wolfman laughed loudly. I'm called Klaus and this is my younger brother Bardi. The skinnier Wolfman seemed humble, he nodded at Luo Feng and said hi. I am called. Luo Feng muttered, Madman. Madman. The 2 Wolfman Sector Lords knew straight away that was a nickname. And such a nickname was too common. Many within the army didn't reveal their true names, they preferred nicknames. And 1 out of 100 were probably called Madmen. They both felt like Luo Feng didn't want to reveal his true name, naturally they didn't ask. Ah, look, another Sector Lord has come. The stronger-looking Wolfman looked into the distance. Luo Feng glanced over, it was another Sector Lord. There are already 96 Sector Lords here. The skinnier Badi said softly. We are close to leaving. They always have to gather 100 Sector Lords before sending out the troops. This is truly, after traveling in space for 12 years, I have to come here and wait even more. Not killing after so many years, my blade is starving. The older brother said unhappily. Luo Feng answered sparsely to both of them, not revealing anything about himself. Luo Feng was very clear, that as a disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader, there were many warriors out there that wanted to kill him. Caution was extremely important, it was best not to reveal his identity. The strong were numerous as the wind in the outer region wars, if he revealed his identity early on, the dangers would probably multiply by 100 times. Luo Feng waited for a day, and the number of Sector Lords that arrived had finally reached 100. Universe level, gather here. Domain Lords, gather here. Sector Lords, all come here. The entrance of the pathway opened and over 10,000 lone wolves swiftly split apart. Luo Feng got up and gathered with the other Sector Lords. As they gathered, another one came, making the total number of Sector Lords 101. It made them all discuss about the luck of the last female Sector Lord, not having to wait at all. All Sector Lord soldiers, you will be heading to the most glorious and most brutal outer region wars. An undying emanating powerful killing aura. His entire body looked like it was made of metal that stood before them, however you must all understand, the army has its rules, you won't be as relaxed as before. Luo Feng and the other 100 Sector Lords listened. Before we leave, I need all of you to go through the traditional authority award ceremony. The Undying emphasized. Authority award ceremony. What does it mean? What's that? The group of Sector Lords all discussed amongst themselves. It was obvious that most of these lone wolves didn't know much about the details of taking part in the outer region wars. The Undying seemed to know this, he continued, this ceremony is to confirm your position in the army, the level of command and so on. Hence, we need to award you your authority within the army, and how we do it is to test your strengths. Are they going to make us fight? Test. Some Sector Lords shouted out. Wrong. The Undying shook his head. Every one of you have probably trained countless times within the virtual universe network, and the network will judge you based on your performance within. This judgment is very important to your position within the army. The judgment is split into 3. 1 is a normal Sector Lord soldier, the second is an elite Sector Lord Soldier, and the third is a Sector Lord General. Most Sector Lords are normal Sector Lord Soldiers. With law recognition, they can barely be considered elite soldiers. Out of 100 elites, there may be an occasional Sector Lord General. The Undying said, I believe every one of you have displayed your true strength in the virtual universe before. If anyone has never done so, and you are worried your position may not be fair, you can now enter the virtual universe network and do so. In a while, the ceremony will begin. The Undying went silent for 10 seconds before speaking again. Shouldn't be a problem now, right? All of you come one by one to receive your position. The 101 Sector Lords walked up to him, and his armband shot out a blue light that covered the Sector Lords that approached him. Elite Sector Lord Soldier. Normal Sector Lord Soldier. Elite Sector Lord Soldier. Elite Sector Lord Soldier. His armband automatically shouted out the positions. Also, every Sector Lord that received his post would get a mail from the virtual universe system. The higher one's authority was, his position in the army too would naturally be different. Luo Feng looked at this and was shocked. There are so many elites. According to theory, normal Sector Lord soldiers should make up most of the army. Seems right. Those lone wolves that dare go to the wars alone all have confidence in themselves. Most of them have acquired law recognition. The Sector Lords all lined up to receive their posts. It quickly reached Luo Feng's turn. The blue light engulfed him and shouted out, Sector Lord General. This scene immediately made a large number of the Sector Lords, including the distant domain lords and universe levels collecting their posts, all turned over shocked. Amongst the 101 Sector Lords, there was actually one general. Not bad. The Undying glanced over shocked at Luo Feng, nodding his head. Luo Feng walked to the side calmly. The other Sector Lords continued to receive their posts. Elite Sector Lord Soldier. Normal Sector Lord Soldier. Sector Lord General. Once again, the group all turned over. Within this group of 101 Sector Lords there were actually 2 Sector Lord Generals. Luo Feng looked over too. This was a 3m tall, well-built youth. His eyes gleamed like 2 blades clashing. They made it so that no one dared look down on him. He looks quite strong. I wonder where he's from. Luo Feng glanced at him and didn't think much about it. The ceremony ended quickly. There were a total of 2 Sector Lord Generals, 62 elites and 37 normal soldiers within the 101. The Sector Lord and Universe level ceremonies ended quickly. Even with 10 of them receiving their posts simultaneously, the Domain Lord level ceremony took quite a while. The ceremony has all ended. The Undying's voice suddenly boomed, resounding throughout the over 10,000 soldiers' ears. Follow me, we will send you all in a group to the Outer Region Wars. This race wars involve a large amount of soldiers. There are a total of 11 battlefields, and all of them are outside our territories. Hence they are called the Outer Region Wars. You'll all be heading to the 7th battlefield. 7th. All outside humanity's territories. My teacher is in the 2nd battlefield. Looks like there's no hope of meeting him. Discussions popped up all over. Luo Feng thought to himself, 7th battlefield. Average death rate is 96.8%, it's ranked 3rd amongst the 11 battlefields. Seems like a good place to train. Depart, the Undying ordered. Immediately, the over 10,000 soldiers moved forward. Luo Feng and the other Sector Lords were naturally right at the front. After a while, they arrived at a huge hall. The palace had a diameter of over 1,000 li. This huge hall had 11 huge space water screen pathways. This is the pathway that heads to the 7th battlefield. The Undying walked towards it. The 7th battlefield is a huge universe region, with a diameter of about 1.1 million light-years. Of course, with trillions of years of war within, the region itself isn't dangerous at all. The main threat is the other races and the enemies. The 7th battlefield has a total of 100 soldier bases. You'll be transported to the 26th base. The pathway was 1 kilometer wide. It was also 1 kilometer tall. The Sector Lords all entered and Luo Feng stepped in too. Over 10,000 soldiers all entered. With the God Country as the hub, Luo Feng and the others quickly reached the God Country stop and once again entered the pathway, being transferred to the 7th Battlefield's 26th base. Luo Feng stood at the God Country stop and stepped through. He felt the time and space before him warp, as he instantly reached another spot. Ha ha, the new soldiers are here. There are new soldiers. Quickly, hurry, stop wasting time, there are things to do. Orders were shouted immediately. Luo Feng saw 10 white armored soldiers. They weren't all completely in armor. There was one white-haired undying in a white robe. He smiled at them, his eyes gleaming with thunder within. New soldiers, welcome to the 26th base of the 7th Battlefield. Sector Lords follow him, Domain Lord will go with this punk, Universe Levels will all follow that little lady. The white-robed undying swiftly introduced the 3 guides. Universe Level, Domain Lord and Sector Lords all followed different pathways. Sector Lords, ahead lies the Sector Lord camp. The guide said. After a while, they reached an elegant hall, within 10 million seats were located. With just one glance, Luo Feng could see that there were already a few hundreds of thousands of Sector Lords sitting within. How are there so many Sector Lord soldiers? Luo Feng was shocked. Each universe country only has a few million Sector Lords, and humanity only has 1,008 universe countries. And there are a total of 11 battlefields, every one with 100 bases. On average, how many Sector Lords can there be in one base? It can't be such that all of humanity's Sector Lords are fighting in the wars, right? And in theory, there should be many out fighting, only very few staying in the base. How can there be so many here? The other 100 Sector Lord new soldiers were shocked too. Alas! The guide shouted loudly, the new soldiers are here, there are 2 generals in this new group, ha ha. The guide finished and simply left. Sector Lord Generals. Generals. The other soldiers that were originally drinking and chatting all ran over 10,000 of them. When the soldiers got close to each other, their quantum computers would immediately inform each other of their positions. Hence, the over 10,000 soldiers all turned their attention to Luo Feng and the other tall youth. Join our elite team, we have an undying leading our team. The army contribution points are much more, and the chances of survival are much higher as well. Our little team is stronger. You too. The old soldiers madly invited Luo Feng and the other, they couldn't even be bothered with the other 99 new soldiers. After a while, Luo Feng and the other youth sat at the dining table, beside them sat a blood-armored undying with a scaled snake tail. This undying was called Tai Wo, his was a ground undying. And as he was the first undying to actually go invite them, Luo Feng and the other Sector Lord General chatted with him despite the over 10,000 Sector Lords clamoring to invite them. As to whether they would join, no one agreed yet. Captain Tai Wo, why are there so many Sector Lords here? Luo Feng asked. There are a total of 11 battlefields and every one of them has 100 bases. How can there be so many resting here? I am curious too. The youth beside him asked. Ha ha. Tai Wo poured some wine for himself, we'll drink and chat. Madman, Rock, it's not just you two, there are many new soldiers that are curious too as to why there are so many here. If you actually interact with many of them, you'd find out the reason easily. Luo Feng and Rock looked at him. The 1,008 universe countries of humanity are actually just one part of humanity. The captain smiled. From what I know, there are many continents within secret regions that have countless humans living within, and those large continents have diameters of over 100 billion kilometers etc. The population on these continents can match that of a universe country. Luo Feng was shocked. Continent. Right? The Goldhorn race lived in Laos world, that itself was a supercontinent. The Blood River world was one too. The number of warriors on these 2 continents definitely exceeded that of a universe country. Humanity's territories lead into many of these secret region continents. And these are filled with universe energies. The humans living there all mostly become star travelers at maturity. The number of strong warriors are plenty. Tai Wo smiled. That's just one part of it. There are large amounts of people living within Undying's god countries too. People within God countries, secret regions, universe countries, these form humanity. Taiwo smiled. Many of our life and death brothers grow up within God countries, and some in the supercontinents. However, their materialistic wealth cannot compare to ours. Just like the virtual universe network, they can only access it when they reach universe level. Luo Feng was shocked when he heard. He immediately sent a thread of consciousness into the network to check. With his authority, he immediately found lots of information. Humans, according to their living environments, could indeed be separated into God country, secret regions and universe humans. The number of universe humans weren't that many. One had to know that the secret region had continents akin to a universe country, and it was easy to build over 10,000 large continents within these secret regions. And the God countries of Undyings were incredibly vast, many humans could live within. So, large amounts of humans can live in the secret regions, then why do we still have to fight for territory? When Luo Feng had gone to Laos world before, he was curious about this. Only after becoming the disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader did he have the authority to search for answers. The war was for territory. Why fight? According to the information he found, it was just like a plant life form requiring sufficient sunlight. The moment the population was too dense, all the plants wouldn't grow well, same logic. The formation of life was very special, whether it was flesh and blood or automaton, or plants etc. As long as there is life, during its growth it would absorb the universe's essence. The production and growth relied on the absorption of this special energy. For example, with a 1,000 light-year area, with only one life planet and 10 billion people on that planet, almost all of the universe energy within that 1,000 light-year area will be given to that planet. And the secret regions. If the population comparable to a universe country were all squeezed within a huge continent, its population density was much higher, hence the essence they received was naturally much lower. The God country humans. The God countries exist in slits of space, not the actual space itself. The universe essence absorbed was even lesser than that of the secret region humans. The information said, God country humans, their numbers are the most plentiful, they can only train till sector lord level. Over countless years, the number of Undyings produced only reaches 9,082, they all had miraculous encounters. Without these encounters, they are set never to reach Undying. Universe secret region humans rank number 2 in population. They can reach Undying like the universe humans, however, the chances of them reaching night is extremely low. Universe humans, least in population, they own the most territory. There have been many Undyings in history, and the number of nights in humanity, 98.2% of them are from the universe humans. Territory was like a fertile land. The larger it was, the stronger the race could grow, the chances of producing absolute warriors would be higher too. Within the hall. Among the sector lord soldiers, most of them are from the God countries. Luo Feng asked. Right? Taiwo nodded. Luo Feng was shocked. The God country humans probably didn't know of the secret that their chances of becoming Undying were extremely low, even producing one was extremely rare. The sector lords themselves probably didn't even feel this problem. The number of soldiers from the God countries are the most. Hence, many sector lord warriors are from the God countries. Taiwo laughed. Through many life or death situations and threats, their strength will grow, and gaining enough contribution points, they can exchange for treasures to strengthen themselves. Even though they are only sector lord, they can match up against normal Undyings. This video will end here.